everyone! Welcome to Gender Spectrum's Dimensions of Gender series. My name's Eden and I'm a member of the Gender Spectrum Youth Council. At Gender Spectrum, we believe that a person's gender is the complex relationship between three dimensions: body, identity, and expression. But what do these dimensions mean? How do they relate to one another? And how can they look different for different people? Each video in this series will explore one of the dimensions. You'll meet other members of the Gender Spectrum Youth Council who will explain the dimension and what it means and looks like for them. Enjoy!
Hey everyone, my name is Ariel and I use she/her pronouns. In this video, I'm going to be talking specifically about the body dimension. As a reminder, this is only one of the three dimensions, the other two being expression and identity. I'm here to talk about gender, or rather, one part of gender. To understand this aspect, we need to examine 1, sex, 2, the binary model, and 3, cultural expectations. First, a definition. Actually, a couple of definitions. The first definition is body. This encompasses, well, our body, our experience of our own body, and how others interact with us based on our body. Like I mentioned before, our body is not the only part of gender, but is one part: body, expression, identity. For some of us, our body is a large part of our gender. For others, it isn't, and that's totally alright. It's all a part of our diversity as a community. Something that makes up part of our body is sex, not the verb, but the noun. Sex. The most simplistic definition is that sex equals genitalia. Basically what the doctors look at and then use to assign you at birth is either male or female. Biology-wise, sex also includes things like chromosomes, hormones, reproductive organs, and secondary sex characteristics, like body hair. There are a lot of myths surrounding sex. Many people assume that our sex is the stored determiner of our gender. Sex is connected to someone's gender, but it is not the entire thing, by a long shot, and even that connection varies from person to person. Here we come to another definition. Binary model. This is the model that sorts bodies into two types. This is, like I've said, what the doctor does to us when we're babies, and a method people use to gender us. This model is way too simplistic, however. First of all, some folks are intersex. Intersex, as defined by Interact or Inter-ACT, a youth intersex activist organization, describing people born with variations of internal and or external sex anatomy, resulting in bodies that can't be classified as typically male or female. And most of us don't really fall into one or the other binary models. Our bodies are incredibly complex, even setting aside sex. So sex wouldn't be any different. Even if we were to sort people based solely on sex alone, you would find that we all fall along a spectrum, and then some. Ultimately, the relationship between our gender and our body goes beyond solely our reproductive functions. Research in neurology, endocrinology, and cellular biology point to a broader biological basis for an individual's experience of gender. If any one part of our body is determinant of our gender, it is most likely our brain, not our genitals. Which makes sense. The brain plays an important role in how someone experiences their gender. Finally, bodies themselves are also gendered in the context of cultural expectations. Masculinity and femininity has, in our culture, become associated with certain physical attributes, labeling us as more or less a woman or a man based on the degree to which they are present. This gendering of our bodies affects how we feel about ourselves and how others perceive and interact with us. Just like our bodies themselves, the relationships we have with our bodies are complicated. After all, gender is complicated. For me, as a young transgender woman, I don't consider my biological sex when I talk about my gender. To me, gender is such a complex and beautiful thing. My gender is not about who I am biologically, but my internal identity and sense of self. What's important for me is that people don't judge gender based on someone's genitalia, but instead by a person's identity and how they express that identity outwardly. These other dimensions, identity and expression, will be explored further in the other videos within this series. I hope that this video provided a bit more understanding around specifically the body dimension. Be sure to check out the other videos in this series that cover the expression and identity dimension. Have questions about this dimension or just want to connect with others about gender? Check out the Gender Spectrum Lounge at genderspectrum.org/lounge. I'll be there, as well as other members of the Gender Spectrum Youth Council and tons of other teens who are connecting and sharing experiences. Bye!